My name's Obiora, Anozie. People call me Obi or Obiora. 21, entrepreneur out of Dallas, Texas, Nigerian native, and happy to be here, man. Brown paper bag.
I'm LaDell Day, actor, model, entrepreneur. Brown paper bag. We got next.
Yeah,
For sure.
What we just saw is Donald Glover's "This Is America" video. He actually dropped it last night. I don't know if it was during the SNL skit, but he hosted SNL last night. Obviously, yesterday Saturday. My personal take on it. You just saw it, so I mean, you go first. What do you think of it?
It's powerful, man. Like
He just
I literally just
he
saw it.
just saw it right now.
I wasn't aware that he came out. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little tense about it because he exuded everything that's really going on.
Yeah.
Honestly. And like I'm gonna have to take it in a couple more times to really get the gist of it. But the vibe was just power, there's nothing being done properly, there's nothing being done to fix it. And he's using his platform, which is my biggest thing is with artists is that with all this going on, at least use your platform to bring awareness to it.
Right.
If there's not necessarily fixing it, at least everyone's aware. And then if everyone's aware, eventually everyone's gonna try to fix it. You know what I mean?
I think so. I agree. My whole thing is, like you said, he's talking about, he's visually capturing the current state of America, like you said, right? And when it starts out with the that's like the happiness, the happy time. It's almost like, because I dissected the whole thing. It was directed by the same guy that directs Atlanta.
Okay.
A little background story. His name is Hiro Murai, Hiro Murai. He directs all the Atlanta videos, and actually for Atlanta, the budget, he didn't want to get a traditional videographer.
Really?
He got one of the guys that he started out with doing music videos, as Childish Gambino.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? He said, I've never done this before. I've never done like a budget film type of situation. Like, this is the best show on television.
Yeah.
Right now to me. And he threw him in that pit, and he just succeeded since then. So back to that, it's being directed by Hiro Murai. So they already have that working relationship, kind of. So that being said, from the beginning, the happiness, to where he puts the thing over the bag over his head. His bag is already over his head. When he shoots him,
yeah.
And if you notice in the beginning how he's like moving kind of weird, because Donald Glover is like, he's like an anomaly, right? Okay. He does everything well. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian. He sings very well. He raps. He directs, stars, and writes his own show. That's the best show on television. He's a businessman. He plays instruments. Like, he did a 70s album in 2017. Yeah, that does not happen. That's not real. So going back to the thing, if you look at his body, he's weird.
It was like contorted a little bit.
Yes, he's weirdly built. He doesn't have an edge up.
Yeah.
It's everything, but the thing is, the reason why he was dancing so weird and it was embracing it so much, because that's him. Yeah, this is America. This is me. You know what I'm saying? So I want to start out with that first. He embraced himself fully, right? So when he's walking weird and then starts doing a dance and with the kids in the background, it just goes to show that, yeah, we're happy for a little bit of time. It's mainly black people. We're happy for a little bit of time until something happens. Then it just fades back into the music. The music, I feel like, is how do you say, like a blindfold. A blindfold, at one part blindfold, one part soothing.
Yeah.
You understand? That's what it looked like to me that he was trying to portray. If you saw SZA was in it, you see SZA in the end, and I think it was Young Thug or T-Pain or both of them on the track. Yeah, talking a little bit. It was incredible. You see the part where he shot the choir?
Yes,
that was crazy.
It threw me off because I was like, okay, cool, you know. But the thing is, I like that he took, with not being so stereotypical, he brought light on the fact of, as black people, that is what we typically go to the church. To get through this process, that's what we do. And the choir is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Like, everyone loves the praise and worship part of church.
Right.
And so, but he's saying, you see the praise and worship, like you said, for a minute, and then next thing you know, necessarily the whole choir, but someone's killed. So then the happiness is gone.
And then we go right back to that same thing.
Yeah, and then it's just repeat the cycle, and then it's like there's no resolution, but there's constant. I guess a constant thought of it's not really happening,
right?
Or this is so new, But it's like, and then like to piggyback off of some of the other things that have been going on in a couple of weeks, it's like we're kind of saying that all this stuff is so old. It's kind of throwing me off because 1992, 1993 is when Rodney King got beat on camera in California. Right. That's not that long ago, bro. Our parents were alive when Martin Luther King was alive. That's not long ago. Like, this stuff is not old. So when you use your platform like you did on that song, it's just like, I appreciate it so much, but then it's also traumatizing because it is the real fact.
I'm glad you said that, because my last point I want to touch on is like the fact that when he was walking really awkwardly, and he was smiling a lot. I mean, that's his nature, but he was smiling a lot. It was really like, And when he smiled, and then whenever he grabbed the gun and he would shoot whoever, he would turn serious again. That's one. And then number two, he did all the modern dances. Like you said, he did the shoot, the block boy. And then if you hear in the back on the wall, that comes usually, the ad-lib that comes on the song with Look Alive. Then these are the few things I noticed that were pieced together. That, then I saw he was dancing on a car, and in that car lot. That was interesting to me. I don't know why he did that.
With that whole little part kind of, I gotta rewatch because he lit the blunt or whatever. And then he hit it, and then I don't know if it's kind of like, now that I think about it, I guess that's another thing I guess our culture does. Is to balance off the, like I get high to balance off the lows, like Drake, you know what I'm saying? And then whenever the weed doesn't work, you walk on top of the car, and then you try to make yourself feel like you're on top of things. Maybe I feel like it's something like that.
That's a
you
smart
try
point.
to feel above the situation whenever America has you feeling so low all the time.
So I think it was more like a reflection on Black America, man. It was this is America from a Black person's lens.
Perspective.
So if we talk about all these things we do to subside the pain, and we never really face the problem, when we do, that's almost an illusion in itself. Like the church, Malcolm X even said, like, it takes a few things to build a community, like a hospital, a bank, a church, and a few other things, like a government entity, a few other things, schools.
I was say school.
Right. And the church in Black communities, especially back then, is such an epicenter. Like, we have all these mega churches, all this stuff going on, which is beautiful. But that usually, Malcolm X said this, usually takes away from the actual, it's like all the woes and things that you face, all the grievances that you face in real life, you come to church to get the high that the preacher gives you, to subside the pain. So in a sense, almost like if you're not really facing the real problem, it's almost equivalent to somebody else smoking weed or doing whatever to subside the pain. Because it's just a temporary fix, a band-aid. These are all bandages. I think that was the point I'm trying to get across.
Exactly.
These are all bandages. Instead of actually building upon the real problem.
It's almost like you go to church to essentially act like it didn't happen. Like almost to subdue it. As opposed to actually
taking what you learned in that service and applying it, or having economic empowerment programs where it can flesh out a new community and build economic wealth. But that's our take on it.
I did like the fact that though that he, with the contorted walking and the way his hair looked and everything, he was, I feel like to me it was like exuding that you could be as true to yourself as possible, but then at the same time it's an issue. It's like you have to like be this other person, but he's like, this is who I am, this is what I have to give y'all. But then it's still not enough. And then even if you try to abide by the rules, you still end up getting caught up in the situation somehow. Like it's just Powerful, bro. That was a powerful video that y'all let me watch.
even all throughout last point, even all throughout the actual song wasn't sad or it didn't sound dangerous in any way.
No.
Like at the beginning, I was like, "Damn, this about to be I don't know, it's about to be something. I don't know what it is."
Yeah.
Because like, what can you give us after like Redbone? You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's true.
Awaken My Love. What can you give us after that? I even talk to my friends like when people do certain bodies of work that are so epic, that are classics. So I was like, you should retire at that point. Cause
Yeah.
you know,
I've said that about. It's like, dang.
Yeah.
What do you? It's so good that
you don't want to ruin it.
I don't want you to, you know. But at the same time, it's like with art, you might make an amazing masterpiece,
Right.
but you still value more art.
Question at hand is pretty much when did we realize that we're black men, and within that, trying to make movement and do our own thing, pursue our passions, dreams, and endeavors. Like, how is that affected? Like, how does that whole thing affect us? So I guess to answer the first question, when I realized I was a black man in America, because within it, like it's a very complex topic. Because within being black, there's levels. Because there's colorism within being black. Yeah. Because the dark is I'm Nigerian, right? Yeah. So I come from a place that people are normally much darker than I am. My sister is, or my father is, you know. So within being black, there's levels of racism.
Black.
Exactly. And there's racism within ourselves, and there's racism towards the lighter tone or the darker tone, like, especially the darker tones. I mean, I'm privy to this. I understand that. So, when was the first time that I realized I was black? I think in middle school.
I about to say mine was probably in middle school, late elementary.
Yeah.
But mine was, it's crazy because mine was because, so I grew up in a predominantly white, you know, area, school system, everything. And the way I found out, I guess, figured out or realized I was black, I knew I was a male, but black, was a Caucasian pointing out the fact that I was different.
Yeah.
Like saying, like, you know, the black jokes and all that. That stuff, you know, you just, like, it's almost like I learned that I was black because of racism. Yeah. I learned that I was black because there is a distaste for black people. Yeah. Because there's a distaste for looking differently. So that's the way, because until then, I feel like you think, you don't see color. Like, you just see humans.
Exactly.
But then when someone starts pointing out and starts saying that you're supposed to act like this, you're supposed to do this, these people don't like black people, these people don't like black people, you start realizing, oh, I am black, and this is what it's like to be black. Yeah. So
I feel that mine was around the same time, and I grew up almost the same. Like, my community coming out of where I live in Garland, Texas, so it's like middle class, you know, a lot of Hispanics around me, and I went to Catholic private schools. Okay. Coming up, so coming from a blue collar family, going to this Nigerian kid, going to Catholic private schools, it's kind of it's kind of like I didn't see anybody that looked like me, in the teaching, from a teaching aspect to a classroom aspect to like. I mean, I saw a few of them. Like I had like my best friend Mikey Hemme, or I had other people in class like that are black or Indian, but it was more white kids with each other. And I didn't see anything different to like on the outside, and a little bit in high school, and then college mainly. So I would have to go outside to, you know, when I like on the weekends, on like when I got out of school, you know what I'm saying? My friends on the outside, cause I live in the Rowlett area, so the GISD people, I was friends with a lot of them. That's where I'll get my fix. Or I'll go to those would be my family, my friends, you understand? But I learned, that's where I first learned I was black, because I didn't see anybody look like me. I said, this is kind of weird. Yeah. So it taught me how I had to learn a different language to speak. Not necessarily that I changed myself, but I had to learn a different, like the corporate language, or the how to speak in there. This is one saying, and I keep jumping talk. This is one saying. It goes, learn how to treat everybody the same, differently. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at work, you're not gonna act the same way that you do when you go to the crawfish boil in Louisiana. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna talk to me the same way you talk to our managers or Tom down the street. Be your same self, but you have to.
You have to be different.
Yeah, there's a certain
differently.
certain type of code switch. You know, so that's what I learned early on, and then going to university at PWI.
Yeah.
That I'm seeing. Now I'm not done yet. I'm still in it, but I'm seeing the different worlds collide, and that taught me how to, you know, speak to and through that crowd, and then going to school in Nigeria as well taught me a little different perspective. So that's when I first learned long form answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like with being black, I feel like they kind of like you said. It's just like there's the black as a, I guess, color, and then there's once you're black, you got to be black, too black or such a type of black.
Yeah.
You know, then you get the talking white and all that. It's just like then you figure out it's like there's so many stereotypes that
like you're not enough for either.
Yeah, that we've created what it is to be black, white, but it's like why? What's the reason for it? But I don't know. Then you learn, or I learned that being a black male is even like you have to learn even more stuff.
Yeah.
How to police yourself around the police.
Yeah.
How to talk, how to, firm handshakes when you meet, certain people.
Right.
But don't be too powerful because they don't like that. Like,
right.
Like I feel like being a black male, like we have to even learn how to be a black male after you realize you're black.
Yeah. Especially in the going to the second part of the question, especially in the entrepreneurial space.
Yep.
Or just being a brand like this. I mean, it's not really. In this day and age, no matter what you do, everybody's a brand of themselves.
Yeah.
So that's why you see, no matter what you post, it's gonna be on there. Like, people don't look at resumes anymore. You go to your social media profile type situation. So, guarding your reputation with your life without living in fear. You know what I'm saying? You have to move a little. You have to be conscious of your power. Yeah, I think that's one thing. Being a black person in entrepreneurship, or just my feet are still wet. I'm just getting into it, but seeing these worlds and having mentors that are heavily in these worlds, that's what it's taught me. You have to be conscious of your power and how they perceive your power.
Yeah.
So with that,
that's
you can move.
Perception.
Exactly. You can move with grace once you understand that, and that's how I have to understand. You have to move with grace.
The other reasons that I realized. So kind of like it was funny because like as I realized I was black or identified myself as being black, my parents started opening up to me saying like, okay, so when you get pulled over, give us a call because this is how you should act. Or the big one that I know that my family says is that you gotta be 150% better than them, and still that might not be enough. So just hearing those kind of innuendos and finding that stuff out, that is kind of the reason how you figure out you're black and how to police yourself. But then also, we have to use that in entrepreneurship because we can't go get bank loans as easy as the other races or Caucasians or whatever that may be. So that goes back to the 150% better than what they do. So like it's tough. It is tough. But like you say, being true to yourself, don't conform. Don't just sell your brand or sell self at the first sign of money, because authenticity of you can be lost. And that's kind of the reason why a lot of big major brands buy you whenever you're an entrepreneur, is to kind of bite your idea or take your idea and make it theirs. Yeah. And then now you've lost self, lost the brand that you've worked so hard to build.
Question, actually, with what you just said, because that's very true, and I face the same things. Do you feel like you talked about the bank loans and being 150% better? Do you feel like sometimes these things that, although we have to be 10 times better than the next man, do you feel like sometimes that we hold ourselves back with that, like with the just an American video, like sometimes it's like, damn, he's being racist. Also, do you feel like sometimes it's too much, like we let the excuses and the complaints and the grievances of the world like just devour what we're meant to be as a community? Do you feel like that happens a lot?
I feel like it happens quite a bit. I feel like we don't, and I guess our culture in general really, we don't take everything with a grain of salt. We kind of take it and really use it for almost like you say, to hold us back as opposed to fire to keep pushing. Right. It's almost like with the video, well, he's talking about the truth. It's difficult in America.
Okay, how are we
gonna move forward? But most people are gonna look at it and say, well, yep, it's bad in America, so
and then just sit.
It's whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's no, that's not what you should be picking up. But like you say, there's so many. You gotta be 150% better. You gotta be able to do this. You gotta police yourself a certain way to act, and you just feel like it's so much to where we're just like,
yeah,
it's fine. It's whatever.
Yeah.
Just go through the motions instead of using it with go. Take everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take, like I tell everybody, I said, I'm gonna take everything they told us that we couldn't have. Everything, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you have to it's mindset. It's a mindset. It starts with mind first. You have to know how to take care of self to do it to where, and not be greedy. You know what I'm saying? Our culture is real big on money, flashy and everything, but it's about conquering it as a whole, like being as a whole, property, brands, corporations. If you have that, all that other stuff will come later. But we like getting those things because it's like a mini prize, because we feel like we're dealing with the 150% better. Like it's like, well, I got the jury, you know, so I feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
Like I really feel like that's a lot of our culture is just like, I mean, at least it's a trophy. Like I've made something out of this very difficult, horrible situation. Yeah. So that's why sometimes I can't even blame our people for liking flashy things, you know, because you just want something to show that you're making progress, bro. Like
a status symbol.
Yeah.